Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Manny Rays NOMA Truck Series Championship live from Texas Motor Speedway. Getting ready for a good one tonight. A little bit of a late start to the broadcast as I did have some technical difficulties in getting it going. But here we are. We'll take a look, not quite at the full starting grid as we get ready to go green, but how about one of your championship four? Starting on the front row, it's going to be Matthew Dyer and Joey Hickox. Your other two championship four, Justin Parham and Jay Stinson, will start from 5th and 6th. The rest of the field all going to get sorted out, but the eye is to keep on those four guys tonight. Whichever one finishes the highest will be awarded your champion. So here we go, 150 laps in the final race of the season. The Manny Rays NOMA Championship is underway at Texas. Lap one underway, and it is Matthew Dyer pulling out to an early lead. Here we go, 2 laps complete. Joey Hickox, though, already trying to make another move on the outside. Actually slipped up a position there. Oh, we got one trying to go around Zach Stevens. Hold on to it. He does. The 21 machine down on the apron in the marbles, but he holds on. And he'll try to merge back on track as Matthew Fritz and Chase Greer both go by. Man, that was a really, really close call down the back straightaway. Looked like he maybe just got a little bit out of shape. He was able to gather it back up, but, man, that could have been disaster early. As we go back up front, Matthew Dyer still holding the lead. And, yeah, Joey Hickox has fallen 2 more spots since we last looked. One of the favorites tonight, as he said, Texas is his potentially favorite track, right up there with Las Vegas and Daytona. But you see Justin Parham, one of the Grandstand Racing drivers, quickly was able to make a move to the outside, kind of followed Grant Turner to a certain degree. So both of those guys up 2 positions from where they started. Kenneth Redinger, who is now in 5th, is already up 4 positions from where he started. But let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into what we're looking at for tonight's championship race. Again, presented by Manny Rays, is the entire NOMA Truck Series and the key sponsor of the race here tonight. 150 laps. We've already ticked off a few of them. As always, 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires, that 1 fast fare in the pits if you need it. And we do have stage breaks here tonight. Stage 1 going to be on lap 28, the conclusion of rather. Stage 2 going to be at the end of lap 83. And of course, we got those 3 green, white checkers if we need them. Winds at 2 miles an hour, 70% humidity, clear skies, 70-degree weather in this 1.5-mile racetrack. Heavy banking through 3 and 4, a little bit less than 1 and 2. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but 73 degrees. The current track temp going to make the racing very, very exciting here tonight. And part of the reason that we're seeing everybody still grouped together is just because so much grip still in the track as right now that nobody's had a chance to spread out. So it's all Matthew Dyer up front. Matthew Dyer, of course, making the announcement that this will be his final season. From the looks of it, new work schedule, and he's not going to be able to make it back next season. So saying this as the official retirement word, everybody out here wishing Dyer well, and you got to kind of root for him tonight in his last season. Can he go home with the championship? Came close with a good playoff run last season, but this could be his night. We'll have to find out if the driver of the 28 can get it done, because not too far behind him, all the way back right now in 4th, make it 3 spots, is his teammate and another driver who's been great all season. That is Justin Parham, your second of the 4 championship 4 contenders. Again, we'll talk more to these guys as the night goes on and through the stage breaks and some cautions. We'll try to get a word with all 4 of them. And, of course, your winner at the end of the race. Everybody is just about single-filed out by now. Good to see David Traylor back in the field here tonight. Matthew Fritz currently sits 2nd to last. And there is Zach Stevens after he had that wicked save on lap 2. And I should note that Texas is one of those tracks where cold tires make a pretty big deal. These trucks, they'll slip and slide around even if the track has a lot of grip. At first, the first couple laps while you're trying to get heat into the tires, that's where you got to be really careful. That's where you can get yourself into trouble. But here we go. Let's take a ride on board here with Matthew Dyer. In fact, we'll make it a lap and a half so I can actually show you exactly how this track works starting next lap. And so here we go. You hear him slipping and sliding around. Oh, he bumps the apron right there. Close moment, but he's able to hold on. All right, so here we go. This is what makes Texas so much more different from any of the other mile and a halves. As they rocket down the front straightaway to turns 1 and 2, it's going to be much different over here than it is in 3 and 4. Look how wide it is, and you see it's a big sweeping corner. However, not as much banking, and these guys have to get out of the throttle a lot more. As they rocket down the back straightaway, you're going to have less speed going into 3 and 4, but that means more throttle time. A little bit more narrow, but more banking. And so you see Matthew Dyer right now is basically wide open above 170 miles an hour through the entirety of the corner. Back on the front stretch, and he will do that and hopefully stay in the spot for another 140 laps. But now he's going to get some contest from the 7 of Grant Turner, who has made his way up here. Didn't note it right off the get-go, but tire saving is a big deal here at Texas as well. Those tires, you're going to need them in the long run. They get absolutely no grip once they get worn out. And so as Grant Turner tries to go for the lead, he wants that clean air, but Matthew Dyer, he knows how important it is, and he's not going to give it up here without a pretty big fight. Talked about Joey Hickok's drive to start, but started on the front row, and I think the reason he may have fell a couple positions is because he was saving some tire, and no surprise there to see Joey Hickok's already up in that 3rd position, maybe fighting for 2nd if one of these two slip up. Justin Parham in the 19. Kenneth Redinger now up, still in the 5th position. I thought he maybe had picked up 4th since we last checked. There's Sam Boutwell. Man, he gave it everything he could last week. Got pretty close to the win, all things considered, but it was just not enough. And then your 4th and final championship Ford contender here tonight is Mr. Jay Stinson in the 31 truck. And I think if you had to pick the underdog story or maybe a little bit of the surprise pick out of all of them, it has to be Jay. I mean, he had a good season. Don't forget he got the win at Kentucky. And, of course, that consistency in the playoffs is what led him here. But you look at everybody else and you see maybe multiple wins, if not more. And Joey Hickok's teammate has been on a tear as of recent and towards the end of the regular season. Oh, Boutwell's around. Huge contact to the front of Jay Stinson. Boutwell goes around. Caution is out as the 47 is up into the outside wall. And first caution of the night, as it was indeed Sam Boutwell, the man that spun it around. So as he gets back rolling, there had to be trouble ahead of this. And in fact, we actually saw Grant Turner starting to slip. So maybe a couple different incidents here all in one. So let's back this up and see. I thought it was Grant Turner, unless it was Ronnie Morrison. So this was actually a separate incident. This was coming out of turn 2. No, I take it back. This was the same exact incident. And this was actually, I believe, coming out of turns 3 and 4. Let's see here if we can get a better angle of it. So here we go. Again, this is going to start in front with Grant Turner. We'll go up here to the 7, who's already really, really out of shape. And looks like him and Matthew Dyer have been racing pretty hard here for a couple laps. And so here you go. They're going to get down into turn 3. Grant Turner's trying to pin it on the door. I think there's actually a little bit of net code between those trucks. Dyer trying to dive down to the bottom, but I think that gets him a little out of shape. And now you see he's really sideways, putting the wheel back to the right to correct it. Then he gets up the track from that correction. And this time he's going to make some more contact with Grant Turner. And once they get stuck together, sends Grant Turner up into the wall. He actually does a really, really good job of straightening that one out. That was a heck of a save. But then further back, Sam Boutwell was trying to get checked up. Jay Stinson may not have seen the wreck in front, and therefore he kind of sent him around. But let's actually take a ride on board here with Jay Stinson. You'll see what I'm saying here. He may have never even saw this coming, depending on the blind spot. So here you go. You see, he sees him get down into the turn. He sees Dyer getting a little loose. Dyer saves it. Now he doesn't see it, sees it, starts checking up, but just not quite able to check up enough. And after he makes that contact with Sam Boutwell, it looks like he was able to continue on without any further incident. This is definitely going to cause some trouble here. Watch Jay Stinson here. He's going to try to check up, big check up, and the 31 is just going to come barreling in here with just really nowhere to go. And so once he gets into the back of Sam Boutwell, he goes down low, and somehow Riley Gomes is able to slip by this as well. Richard Hurst, though, kind of the same position, trying to check up or just commit to the low side, and he's not going to be able to sneak through. Heavy damage to the front of his truck and the back of Riley Gomes. Now the 76 is going to spin down. Ronnie Morrison just misses it, as that was another close call. Let's take a couple more looks at this one here. So look from TV3. A heck of a save by Grant Turner again, but just that stack-up effect, not everybody was able to miss it. And you saw the caution came out pretty quick, but still just was not quite enough time for these guys to check up. Take one more look at it here. And there's the damage for the 9, Riley Gomes, as he loses a rear bumper. Boy, that was a close call for Ronnie Morrison and Richard Hurst. He almost got T-boned. That could have certainly been a lot worse. But as we go back live up front, it is Joey Hickox, one of your Championship 4 contenders leading. Justin Parham, another one of them out in second. Kenneth Redinger, third. Chase Greer, fourth. Matthew Fritz in fifth. Jay Stinson, sixth. Another one of your Championship 4 drivers, Ronnie Morrison in seventh. And Matthew Dyer in eighth. Looks like we got some people in the chat here early as we get ready to go back green. Raymond Daniel says, let's go Austin. And yes, I apologize that I was a little bit late to the broadcast. Says Manny Rays is watching. Let's go Hurst, says Brittany. Yes, Nancy Hickox says, good evening, Austin and race fans. Going to have another championship winner tonight. Let's go racers, have fun. Absolutely, that is what all these guys are looking to have here tonight. It's some fun and crown a champion, as Raymond Daniels says. Show all 4 championship trucks. And actually, the other thing that I did indeed forget to mention at the start, we have them all highlighted in yellow with the P next to their name on the scoring towers. But there you go. Joey Hickox in first is the first one. Justin Parham on the outside, him in second. Jay Stinson in the bright green, black, and white 31. Back there, third on the outside, Matthew Dyer just behind him. That is your Championship 4. Green flag back in the air, 16 laps complete. And it is Joey Hickox off to the races early. He is going to get a good start and quickly try to start building that gap away from Kenneth Redinger. And Joey, he's got the experience on this track. He knows that you got to save some tire. That's exactly what he did that last run. And you saw just as Matthew Dyer started to struggle a little bit, that's where Joey Hickox took advantage, started catching these guys. They dive into turn 3, side-by-side out back. Matthew Dyer going at it here with Jay Stinson, the 31 and the 28. Now, we saw Jay, of course, involved in that last wreck. Could not tell how bad the damage was or if he used his fast repair. We'll take a look at the front. The front nose surely looks clean after some contact. You got to wonder, did the 31 make a mistake early and have to use that fast repair much sooner than he wanted? Joey Hickox, though, he may have made a mistake as Kenneth Redinger has now gotten by the 3 truck. He takes the lead. Joey tried to make another move on the backstretch, couldn't quite make it work. And we got racing all over the field. Justin Parham on the inside. He will now get a challenge from his teammate Matthew Dyer on the outside, the 28, trying to get even further towards the front as he took some tires, went just a couple spots back, but he might have had a little bit of damage he had to repair as well. But, boy, he is on the move right now, not saving any tire. And Dyer said that he was really dominant last time we were here at Texas. Said that he believed Joey and them might have been watching some film, getting some knowledge. But so far, he still seems to be the class of the field in terms of raw speed at the moment. But how about your Championship 4 currently running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 7th right now? Jay Stinson the lowest running. And so now Dyer will reclaim the lead. Looks like his teammate Kenneth Redinger not going to race him too hard for it now. And this is where it becomes a battle of, do you try to get as far out as you can with clean air, or do you save some tire? Joey Hickox trying to make a move back to the inside of Kenneth Redinger after having to surrender that spot just a couple laps ago. DJ Madish up here in the mix as well. He currently sits in 5th. Right now, this is a season best run for DJ Madish. We'll see if he can keep this up the rest of the way. That's one of the high-octane racing drivers. And as we went back green, he has found some speed. Grant Turner currently sitting back in the 13th position. Looks like he has not quite been able to recover yet since that last incident here. As we take a look at some of our driver cams, first one we're actually going to look at here is Grant Turner in the 7 machine. Currently sits in that 13th spot, as we just noted. Another driver that made the playoffs, unfortunately didn't go quite as far as he would have liked. But one of the Twin Motorsports drivers who has had a strong season and had a strong run going there early. A little bit of a mistake between him and Matthew Dyer has cost him that track position, but I'm sure he'll get it back before this race is all said and done. Richard Hurst, our other driver with an onboard cam for us here tonight, got the win in the season opener at Daytona. Here he is in the 76 machine, Monday night broadcaster. Make sure you go check him out on NOMA TV. Back to the front, Matthew Dyer continuing to try to extend that lead. Looks like right now, as it stands, he has got it over half a second. And again, we talk about stage brakes and fuel, all this other stuff. We know we're going to be good to go on fuel for the rest of stage 1. I think they may have been even if we didn't get the caution, but with the stage brake being in, going to be just under 5 laps here when we cross the line. You got to wonder, does Dyer have a big enough of a lead to when those tires start to fade? Can anybody else catch him in time? But I think I like this strategy. I think Dyer purposely chose not to save tires as the run's not long enough. Oh, Jay Stinson with a big moment right there off of 4. He was able to catch it. Almost costs him another position here. The 40 of Chase Greer, though, is not going to be able to go by. We saw Jay actually move up a position since we last checked in. He is now in that 6th spot, looking to break into the top 5 and pass one of the championship 4 in Justin Parham. But that was a big moment off of 4, as sometimes it gets a little loose out of there, and you either got to make a commitment with the wheel, hold it straight, or try to save it, as Jay was able to do right there. So Matthew Dyer, that gap now up to almost half a second because these two have gone back to battle. Kenneth Redinger and Joey Hickox. Redinger on the bottom, Joey on the top. And it looks like Joey's going to have to tuck him behind. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if he's going to make it work right here, but you see DJ Madish, he certainly is. There's a pretty big crossover opportunity that you can do down there through 1 and 2. That is exactly what DJ did. You enter that corner a little bit higher, roll in a little bit later, and then arc it down, try to roll the bottom and get the run on the back. But DJ Madish getting into 3, got onto the apron, and that is a big no-no. That bumps him up, cost him a spot that he was maybe going to gain and a spot now that he's going to ultimately lose. As we have now hit 25 laps to go. 4 laps left in stage number 1 for Matthew Dyer. Trying to get another win here, but this would be the big one here tonight. You knew Kenneth Redinger would be strong, but again, so far, nobody has had anything for this 28 machine. It's been all the battling out back, but if you don't finish in front, if you're one of the championship 4 contenders, it doesn't really matter. And remember, they don't have to get the win in order to win the championship. It's just whoever finishes the highest. So if Matthew Dyer, for example, finishes 3rd, but Joey Hickox, Justin Parham, and Jay Stinson don't finish any better than that, then he would be crowned our champion. I don't believe stages really gain these guys much, if anything, here tonight, except for making maybe some minor adjustments to the truck. And then, of course, getting fresh tires and trying to change your strategy for the next stage. And that final stage is a pretty long one here tonight. This next stage will be about twice the distance, maybe a little less of what we saw here in stage number 1. And then the final stage, I believe, going to be about 70-ish, maybe a little bit less laps. So we will see some green flag stops then. But the battling continues. Is how about DJ Madish? He is now up to 3rd place, and he is up 13 total positions from where he started this race at. As he chases down Kenneth Redinger. The gap up front, Matthew Dyer now has the lead up to still over a second, make it 1.1 seconds now. And as he is going to come across the line, he will take the white flag in stage 1. 1 lap to go for the 28. Can he hold off the rest of the field? Certainly looks that way as he works through 1 and 2 cleanly. Kenneth Redinger 2nd, DJ Madish 3rd, Joey Hickox really trying to hold off Justin Parham for the stage here. This position could be a big deal. Joey's going to look low, try to set up a block as he goes around the 25 down into turn 3. I think that's a good move. We'll see if it sticks. But up front, out of turn number 4, stage number 1 was a dominant performance, and it is going to go to the 28 of Matthew Dyer. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd, the next closest battle that we saw, is going to go to Joey Hickox. Justin Parham finishes just behind him in 4th, and Jay Stinson, your final championship contender, finishes in the 7th position. So as Matthew Dyer comes around, and from the sound of it, I believe there was actually a little bit of strategy play here, and that might have helped with Matthew Dyer's speed. I think he may have had a little bit fresher tires, maybe why he fell a couple spots. So we'll see if that bites him in the back end of this race, if some of these guys have an extra set of fresh Goodyears. But so far, so good. And as they all come around to top off on fuel and tires, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will hear from your championship 4 leader at the moment in his final race, Matthew Dyer. Stick with us when we come back. Back live at Texas Motor Speedway for the Manny Rays Championship race. And let's see if we can get a quick word here before these guys go back green with your Stage 1 winner. Hey, Matthew Dyer, this is Austin up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you look strong through the first stage, and I know it's your last race, but more importantly, you got a championship to win. What's going to be the key, though, the rest of the way to staying as dominant as you've been so far?
Really just got to make sure to stay in front of the people got to stay in front of. It's fine if like a non-championship 4-person wins, so you're just really paying attention on really like who's around me and really who I need to fight for position, because track position is going to be huge today.
Certainly is, and I think I would ask you something else, but it looks like you guys are getting ready to go green, so we'll let you go. We'll see if we're talking to you again at the end of stage number 2.
Thank you.
And he said, I mean, he's preaching to the choir. I mean, come on, you got to give me some credit. I said it earlier. We knew that was the case in the sense of he's right. You don't have to worry so much about getting the win. Just know that which guys are around you, know which guys you have to beat. And right now, his closest competition is going to be directly behind him. His teammate, Justin Parham, lines up 3rd. Joey Hickox on the outside in 4th. Jay Stinson back behind him in 6th. So you got teammates on the inside, teammates 1 row behind on the outside. This green flag is back in the air. Stage 2 is underway. Into turn number 1, Matthew Dyer with a healthy lead. He was able to pull out to a pretty big gap right off the get-go. And now that everybody should be back evened up in terms of tire strategy, this is where we'll start to see who really has the best truck and the best strategy for saving, as Parham has to throw a pretty big block there down the back straightaway to try to hold off a charging Joey Hickox. Joey was able to get around Kenneth Redinger, and he is trying to see if he can maybe get around the 19 as well here, but he's going to have to settle back and settle down here for just a moment as they start to separate. About 4th to 5th on back is where we're going to have all the side-by-side action. Jay Stinson on the outside of Zach Stevens. That's DJ Madison, the 25 behind them. Ronnie Morrison up top. Oh, the 9 of Riley Gomes got really loose in the background here. Was he able to save it? Yes, he was, and he'll get back on the track in front of the 29 of Matthew Fritz. Fritz now going to go around the outside. That was another close call, but again, just those cold tires. Trying everything you can to get as much as you can early on to hold position, but those cold tires can catch you in a bad spot and a lot of bad places. But here we go. Justin Parham has got an eye on his teammate here. And actually, you see Parham holds it down a little bit longer, trying to keep that nose in clean air, get some more front downforce on the truck. And I think it maybe helps him a little bit. But Matthew Dyer, the longer he can stay in front, the harder it's going to be for Parham to pass. But these first 10 laps or so, as long as they're both running about even, you can see Parham's able to get back up there with the draft, and that's because 3 and 4, both trucks are wide open, so it almost acts as a longer straightaway. And the closer you are to that truck, the more draft you're going to pull. Exactly what Parham did there is he'll try it to the top side. This time we'll see if it works out, but I think he's got a little challenge here from Joey Hickox in the 3. You see it from the onboard here of Kenneth Redinger. Joey's going to try to get to the inside of the 19 right here. I'm not sure if he'll be able to make it happen. He does through 3 and 4. Got to get clear, though. Parham will have a run on the outside if he holds it. Not able to do that, so Joey Hickox gets clear, moves him up to 2nd. Redinger going to follow as well. He will move to 3rd. Joey Hickox going to make a double move here to the inside of Matt Dyer. Wow, that was a close call. Joey really dove it in deep. I think he was trying to catch the 28 sleeping. Could not quite do it, but man, can you tell there's a championship on the line for these guys or what? Man, oh man, and give Joey some credit in the sense of he got the championship for the NOMA Super Speedway Series last Monday. In fact, I should say this Monday, if you will. Yeah, no, we'll call it last Monday. And so if he can get it tonight, then that would be a double, I guess, I don't know how you would call it, either back-to-back or maybe we'll call it the sweep. I'm not sure what other NOMA Series Joey's is in, but that's probably the 2 biggest ones. And so if he could win a championship in both of them, that would be a really, really big deal for the 3 truck. Here you go. Going to see a little teamwork to actually work against that 3 truck right here as Dyer ducked to the inside so that Kenneth Redinger, when he ducked to the inside, could pull a little draft. And he was able to get side by side now with Joey Hickox. How hard will Joey race for this position? He's going to be burning more tire the longer he sits on that outside line. And so wise move right there. Joey Hickox just going to let him go. He knows he's not necessarily battling Kenneth. So he's going to let these tires wear down a little bit more, see if he can save a little bit, and see what happened. Caster Sam says, Joey, don't throw this away with over 100 laps to go. And got that right. Joey's certainly looking really aggressive. But how about Jay Stinson now? He is broken into the top 5, and 4 out of your top 5 are now your championship 4. And not sure how much Jay Stinson likes Texas, but we know that he likes Chicago. And again, mile and a half, pretty similar. I think Texas is actually a little bit shorter. Oh, Redinger's around. He got loose, and he's going to get into the inside wall. He'll hold it down there. Nobody else gets collected. But, oh, a mistake for Kenneth Redinger is going to send him all the way to the back. How much damage did the 24 sustain? Is it enough to pit here? Does he stay out? I think you have to stay out. And, yeah, looking at it, it doesn't look too terrible. But it's certainly enough to where that's going to hurt the aero a bit on that 24 truck. Let's back this up. In fact, let's actually go take a look real quick. It looked to me like I think he was just trying to get just a little too much here. Maybe on the bottom. Again, if you hold it on the bottom for too long, you get loose. But on the top here, he's trying to put some wheel down, I think, to maybe get down in front of Joey. That view just doesn't do it justice. Let's take a look from the onboard. Yeah, not really, actually. He's just trying to get back in the throttle, and the back end just comes around on him. And, man, if he could have hit the wall a little later, I think the damage would have been even less. But he got just where that little kind of inside kink, if you will, is in the wall. You'll see it right here. And when it comes around, he's lucky he didn't get tagged. And Joey Hickox, watch how close this is for the 3. Fire out of the pipes. He is doing everything to check up. But see that little kink right there? And honestly, if they get to the straight, he maybe saves this. But does a nice job of keeping it down so that nobody else gets affected. But now finds himself 5 seconds behind the leaders, currently sitting in last. And up front, Matthew Dyer still leading, and now that will move your championship 4 all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4. And I always find it funny just how every season, this is how it ends. And I mean, it makes sense. Your best 4 all season pretty much should be running up front in the last race. Prove why they're here. It's exactly what we're seeing right now. Joey Hickox trying to track down the 28 of Dyer. He's closed it up to about half a truck length. His teammate Jay Stinson has got around Justin Parham for 3rd. And the 19 still sitting in 4th. Those 4 have separated themselves from the rest of the field. But Grant Turner also trying to move through the field here a little bit. He's to the inside of Keith Prince, the rookie in the 03. And it actually looked like Grant maybe has some damage. Take a look at the right rear. Yeah, he does. You see that right side is pretty scraped up. So not sure exactly where he got all that from, but up front, Joey Hickox taking another dive to the inside. Dyer starts to slip. Joey going to take a big dive to the inside into the grass. 2 tires for Joey Hickox. Boy, that was a close one. He clips the grass again coming out of the tri-oval. With only 45 laps complete, these guys are going at it. Dyer, it looks like his truck is starting to struggle as he threw a big block to the inside. You got to be careful here. Don't get into your own head too much. Justin Parham jumps to the inside to help his teammate. Jay Stinson to the outside to help his teammate. Joey Hickox going to try to jump back down in line here, but the truck just not going to go down there yet. Off of turn 4, does Justin Parham have a run? He does, but it's not enough yet to get to the inside of Joey Hickox. And they continue to drag race it out down the front straightaway into turn number 1. And Joey being on the outside, you can really run a lot of speed in that outside. But again, it's going to wear those tires out more. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. If you're Joey, you really need to get clear here really soon. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth the amount of tire that you've lost trying to do so. Again, stage 2 is going to end at lap 83. So we are expecting a green flag pit stop as these guys only have 70% fuel. And so there's no way they're going to be able to make that distance. I mean, that's probably almost 60 laps. So we'll see when they decide to go in here. I'm thinking you could probably make at least 30, though. So that window should be opening up here. Probably about 10 laps. We'll see if anybody chooses to go in early or wait until late. And as Joey Hickox has now had to slide back down in line, it's going to be Justin Parham who will work to the inside of his teammate. He gets clear. Meanwhile, Joey Hickox gets loose, taps the apron out back. And now it's going to be Jay Stinson tucking in line behind that 3 truck. He looks for more. And you know what I'll tell you? We saw right there with Joey Hickox and Matthew Dyers, it looked like they just got really uncomfortable, maybe got to racing a little bit too aggressive. And Dyer looked like he was focusing so hard on trying to hold off Joey that he started slipping up a couple times. And then Joey trying really hard to track him down. I think he slipped up a couple times, but watch Jay Stinson right here getting down into 1. I was trying to figure out if there was some contact between maybe him and Grant Turner. And you see Grant Turner taking it to the inside here. There was not. Jay Stinson maybe saw it, slipped up the track a little bit. That's a nice move, though, by Grant Turner. That'll pick him up a position as now it looks like Jay starts to fade. So we will move the 31, your final championship 4 contender, all the way back to 6. As your top 3 are still all the rest of them. And there they are in the same shot. Justin Parham continues to lead the field. It's Matthew Dyer back in 2nd. Joey Hickox currently sitting in that 3rd position. And You know, a little bit of a reminder of how we got here. Of course, we had the battle in the regular season. We crowned ourselves a regular season champion. That was Chase Greer, who surprisingly was not quite able to advance all the way to the championship 4. We saw him in the first couple rounds of the playoffs. But speaking of rounds of playoffs, we started with the round of 16, and we eliminated 8 guys, went to the round of 8 for a couple races, and here we are at our final stop of the season at Texas Motor Speedway. Remember, the championship race last year was at Chicago. We saw Kenneth Redinger get the job done, and he is not in the championship 4. In fact, didn't even make the playoffs this season. So while he's not fighting for it, certainly going to be fighting for whatever he can get tonight. As Chase Greer, maybe with a mistake, he has fallen all the way back to 16th now. And taking a general look at some of the point standings again, points not going to matter as much tonight in the sense of it's just who can finish the highest of your championship 4. But the one area of points that does matter is team points for some of these guys. And right now, Hickox Racing looks to have a relatively comfortable lead over Grandstand Racing. And you would think, okay, well, they must have it wrapped up. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily wrapped up yet or not. I mean, you got 2 versus 2 in the field tonight, so we will see. But it looks like the gap is over 50 points, I believe. And then Twin Motorsports currently sitting in 3rd, Trackside Motorsports in 4th, High Octane Racing in 5th, with Asphalt Outlaw in 6th, SPINO Racing 7th, Southern Bandits Racing 8th, Wally 9th, Shooter McGavin 10th, Outlaw in 11th, and 4X Racing in 12th. Going to be 53 laps now completed here at Texas. And again, that fuel window is set to open in probably about 2 to 3 laps now. But I don't like the idea of pitting early. I do agree. I think you got to wait here. Play it safe. Just make sure that you get every bit out of these tires that you can. And if you're Justin Parham, I think he actually did a really good job of showing patience in saving at the beginning of this run. And as a result now, he has been able to take the lead. And I think he took it at a perfect time because we're starting to get to that point where being in the draft still keeps you up here, but it just gets really, really hard to make a pass unless you save tires, and clean air becomes that much more important, as Parham is demonstrating right now. Ooh, Dyer slips up again. This will give Joey Hickox a run down the back straightaway. Does he take it? Yes, he does. To the inside goes the 3 truck for Hickox Racing. Can he get clear? He's going to try a little bit of a slide job right here out of 4, and yes, he's going to make it work. Dyer, though, with a crossover. Does he try to take it back to the inside? Looks like he doesn't. Instead, he will try to push Joey Hickox as Jay Stinson has caught back up, made up a couple more positions, put him right back into the picture. And you figure that if Joey liked this place, you'd think Jay, as much of a wingman as he is to Joey, would be pretty darn good here as well. And showing that tonight is, remember, he lost a couple spots. Grant Turner and David Traylor got by, but he picked those positions right back up. Speaking of Grant Turner, looks like he's actually fallen a couple of positions now. But your overall biggest mover inside the top 10 is David Traylor, who currently sits 5th in that 54 truck. We saw him in the first round of the playoffs. Was not able to advance to the round of 8. But nonetheless, another driver who you kind of got to feel surprised that he didn't get a win this season, as he had a lot of strong runs but just could not quite finish it off. Maybe he's going to get one here tonight if he can keep moving through the field the way he has. And you know, I feel like it's kind of custom that it ends up being where one of the championship 4 win the championship race. But, again, we could see a new driver tonight. You never know. David Traylor. Richard Hurst would like to look for a second one. Grant Turner still looking for his first. Zach Stevens, Keith Prince. I mean, we've got a decent amount of guys in the top 10 that are looking for their first win on the season. Of course, not the case for any of these championship 4 contenders. We know Justin Parham with a few on the season, or a couple on the season. Joey Hickox with a few on the season. Matthew Dyer with a couple as well, and then Jay Stinson with that one at Kentucky. And, you know, that kind of, I would say that kind of changed Jay's whole season around. It wasn't maybe necessarily in position to get the win, but sometimes you just need a little bit of luck, and that's what he got the win, and from there on, the consistency really broke through for the 31. He's had good runs ever since, and that's what has allowed him to work his way all the way into the Final 4, as we are going to be coming to about 20, looks like maybe 24 laps to go in stage number 2, and they cross line this time. So yeah, now well in that fuel window, and it's just a matter of when are you going to pit. I don't believe these guys can make it the full 60-ish laps that would be in this stage, but here we go. Battle for the lead. Joey Hickox to the inside of Justin Parham, trying to keep it below the seam, but the truck's just slipping up on him, and wow, Justin rolled a ton of speed. That was an impressive job of holding off a charging 3 truck. for the 19 of Justin Parham. My goodness. I mean, I thought for sure when Joey got to the inside, it was going to be a drag race off of 2. It was not even close. And so Parham right there. Oh, Joey slips up again. Boy, he's getting really loose, but he's getting ready to say Parham maybe demonstrating right there that on old tires, maybe the top's the place to be. In fact, as we go on board here with Joey Hickox, you see Parham slipping up the track. Oh, Parham slipped up pretty big right there. But Joey as well getting tight. Joey's trying to hold it down longer, but you hear the right sides. He is scrubbing every last ounce of tire off of that truck. And so as Parham, again, is going to go to the inside, Joey will actually take the top. Oh, Parham's going to pit here. And I think he might have called it out, and that's why Joey went high. But the strategy call for the 19 is going to be to pit early. Looks like he might get a couple followers here as well. David Traylor brings it in. Zach Stevens spins it in as he will make some maybe just slight contact with the inside wall. Gets it back straight. We stay green. A little bit of a mistake right there for the 21 as it looks like DJ Madish is going to bring it to the pits as well. His right side appears to be scuffed up. And so Parham will see what he takes. Looks like he's probably going to take 4 tires and fuel. And I always think whenever you see the leader actually pit first, then it kind of puts you in a bad spot if you are any person behind the leader, of course, because they're going to have the freshest tires, and they already have the best track position. So as Richard Hurst now comes into the pitch, Joey Hickox still committing to staying out here. You see Matthew Dyer and Jay Stinson, your other 2 championship contenders, right in the same camera view as well. I think we'll definitely see Joey and Jay pit together, but the question is when are they going to do that? We'll see if we get any sort of idea here off of 4. No commitment that time. So now is where we're going to start comparing lap times, and this will show you just how much time that 19 could make up. So right now, Joey Hickox in clean air, we'll count that last lap. 30.9. Now we're going to go back here to Justin Parham. He's still getting up to speed, I believe, so he's getting ready to turn potentially his first lap. And right now he's being scored a lap down, so he does not want to see a caution at the moment. But here we go. This is going to be his first up to speed lap. And so this lap and next lap will be faster. And so as he crosses the line, well, real quick, we'll go back here to Joey Hickox as Matthew Dyer, Jay Stinson are going to pit. Ooh, Jay thought was getting sideways there for a moment, but he saves it. So Jay Stinson pits, Matthew Dyer stays out. So does, of course, Joey Hickox, who leads his teammate in. So now the 28, the only man that still does have to pit. We'll see when he decides to commit to pit road. So remember that last lap for Joey was a 30.4. We go and we find Justin Parham. You compare the difference here, and it looks like Parham that time ran a 29.8, so over a second worth of fall off. And I don't even know if we were quite at the end of a tire run just yet. And this lap will probably be even a little bit faster for Parham, as that last lap he was still getting up to speed a little bit. And so as he crosses the line, you figure he has made up at least a second. And that lap, yeah, even faster to 29.7. So Joey Hickox definitely not going to be able to hold on to the lead here. And yeah, not even really that close, as Parham already onto the back straightaway here. Is Joey Hickox still getting up to speed. He just now exits the pits. So these guys are going to have a lot of ground that they have to make up on Parham here in about just under 20 laps right here. So we'll see if they can make it happen. But in the flip of this run, that's when they'll start gaining their time, as Matthew Fritz decided to go with the latest pitting strategy of them all. He'll be the last guy down. Matthew Dyer, the latest pit strategy of all your championship 4 contenders. And so Riley Gomes, Justin Parham currently 2nd and 3rd. David Traylor 4th. And then right now it looks like it's Matthew Dyer in 5th. So actually this strategy may have worked out pretty well for Dyer. I'm not sure if the Hickox Racing guys just did not quite get on the pits as good as they would have liked or what the deal was, but Dyer actually comes out ahead of them, and this is really going to work out for the 28 because he'll also have fresher tires. So if he can hold off Joey Hickox here for just about half a lap while these tires get up to temp, he might be in the best position here to go track down his teammate and potentially steal a stage win again. Now you see Dyer washing up the track, Ronnie Morrison on the bottom. As it looks like him and Jay Stinson trying to battle it out. Jay on the outside. Joey Hickox looking to see if he can make a move here on the 28 of Matthew Dyer, but just doesn't look like there's much doing. He'll drop into the draft in the middle of 3 and 4 as they both catch the back of the rookie Keith Prince. That will be for position. Keith Prince, of course, pitting a little bit earlier here. A little bit older tires. Don't think there's going to be too much that the 03 can really do here to defend, but man, how about Justin Parham? With right now, it's looking like the strategy call, at least of the stage. But again, these guys maybe could still catch him. They're about a back straightaway behind. We'll call it a straightaway behind, if you will. And so as Dyer is now held off the 3, those tires are up to 10. So if you're Dyer now, this is where I think you just got to go for it. Start ticking off laps as fast as you can. as they just crossed line that time. I believe it's going to be 13 or 14 laps now to go in stage number 2. And as things continue to wind down, quick reminder that after the NOMA Truck Series wraps up tonight, the next series for NOMA is going to be starting, and that is going to be the chapter of the Gen 6 series, which will be broadcasted by me as well. And I am really excited for that one. I have not got to broadcast a Gen 6 league, but I really do like those cars, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of guys in this league over in that league. So make sure that you come check that out. Again, that'll start December, I believe it's December 14th, and that will be a Thursday night league. And I believe start times are a bit earlier at about 8:45. We'll have more info on that as the off-season progresses. And then I'm sure the NOMA Truck Series will be back here as well, maybe about a month or so, depending on how much off time these guys take. But man, it's been a great season. I've been here for 2 seasons so far, and neither of them disappointed. But I got to say, this one I felt like was a more entertaining season to broadcast and just to be a part of. It's a great group of guys out here, a lot of great racing, and a very competitive Final Four as we have seen so far here tonight. Parham right now, the only man that he's had to worry about is Riley Gomes, who sits exactly half a second back, but that may not be the case for long, because here comes Matthew Dyer, Joey Hickox, and Jay Stinson. They're all going to work their way around David Traylor now. So that'll move the 28 up to 3rd. Next up will be Riley Gomes and then his teammate. And keep an eye on the interval gaps. That's going to be the big key, and it looks like right now it's about 2.3 seconds. We'll see if he's able to close that up in about the next 12 to 13 laps. Try to steal this stage, but how about a quick breakdown of your manufacturers for the championship 4? Parham in a Chevy, Matthew Dyer's teammate in a Ford, and then Joey Hickox, Jay Stinson, of course, in Chevys. So no Toyotas this season making that championship 4, and then Kenneth Redinger, last season's champion, was a Chevy as well. So I think the moral of that story is the guys that drive Chevys, for some reason, they seem to find a lot of speed throughout these NOMA Truck Series seasons, as is the case so far tonight. Justin Parham still up front. Riley Gomes still half a second back. Dyer now has closed it down to under 2 seconds. You see him all in the same back straightaway. In fact, take a look at the lap times right here. This is going to tell you all you need to know. Matthew Dyer a 30 flat that last lap. Justin Parham a 33, so about 0.3 of a second right now. Pretty consistently, it's looking like. Maybe falling off just a little bit, but nonetheless, I think Dyer's going to have a good chance of getting there. But man, it's got to be stressful right now as Joey is just heating up. His back bumper will not give him a chance to breathe. And as a driver, when you have someone that close, it's just kind of a tendency to drive a little bit more out of the mirror than the windshield. And that's when you don't quite run as fast as you're used to. But, you know, I'm thinking Joey maybe here taking it a little easy on Dyer, saying, hey, man, don't focus on me. Just go to the front. I'll follow you here unless you slip up. And speaking of slip up, we got a little bit of a slip up right there from Riley Gomes in the 9. And so now he is going to fall back, and we may see a pass right here through turns 1. Yeah, Gomes just no grip. Way up high here. There goes the 28 of Matthew Dyer and Joey Hickox around, and that was actually a really conservative move. And a lot of respect out of the rookie to let 3 of your championship 4 just go right on by without making their lives too difficult. And so Dyer now has it down to about 1.2 seconds. Remember, Justin didn't necessarily pit that much longer before Matthew Dyer. It was probably about 3 to 4 laps. But that's just how much fall off we saw here. We talked about it. It's over a second. And so even if Parham came out with a 4-second lead, Dyer pits 4 laps later. Well, there you go. That's how you get your gap. But at the back end of a run, that's what we talked about. This is where the guys that pitted later, they start to close up. And, you know, you don't like it at the start, but, man, it's so much nicer to be able to be on offense late in a run than to be on defense, especially when other guys are starting to lose grip and slip up. And as they cross the start-finish line, looks like Matthew Dyer will now just put it officially under a second. And we still have 8 laps to go now for Justin Parham. Now, when he gets there, that's one thing, but trying to get past him, not going to be too easy, especially as the fall-off continues. Both of these trucks start to slightly even out. And now the question is, what will Joey Hickox do once they do get there? Hickox still putting a ton of pressure on the back bumper of the 28. And let me tell you, with as close as Joey runs in the corner, it is going to upset the back of that 28 truck. He's not going to get quite as much grip as he's wanting. And 3 and 4 is where it's going to hurt him the most. That's the high-speed corner. 1 and 2 here, both guys let off. But here you go, Joey running a lower lane. Ooh, Joey slipped up. Joey got on the apron. Now he's loose, trying to save it. He's going to have to bail out of the throttle completely as Jay Stinson will let his teammate catch it. Checks up for him. Well, that's a good teammate right there. He easily could have made a pass or made that a lot harder for Joey Hickox than it had to be. But Nice heads-up driving from Jay Stinson, and a heck of a save again from Joey Hickox, as you saw his hands get just about 45 degrees sideways trying to save that truck. And up front, Matthew Dyer is now within draft range of his teammate Justin Parham. You now see him again in the same camera view. And so again, Dyer will just keep slowly reeling him in here each lap that goes by. Stage break at the end of lap 83. So when they cross the line, it's going to be 5 laps until the end of stage number 2. You got to think Dyer's going to get here, and probably, if not this lap right here, the next one. And so can Justin Parham find a way to hold him off for 3 laps? I just don't know if he's going to have the tire to do so. The 28 has been flying so far. I think he's looking to do a little bit more damage here. Remember, he won stage 1, and these guys don't have anything to fight for the stage, but hey, track position for that final stage could certainly be crucial, and Dyer looks like he wants that right now. And so he's still able to tuck lower right there. That's what's really helping him gain some time, is that he is able to poke the nose of the 28 down about half a lane lower than Justin Parham. And every time that he does that, he gets clean air on that truck, rotates a little better, different approach over here in 1 and 2. Actually, he's going to take the high side this time. Justin Parham chose the inside. Here comes the 28. He's got a big run down the backstretch, ducks to the inside, no block from Parham. He knows that his teammates got fresh tires. And as they dive into turn 3, can Parham get it down to the door? He cannot. Matthew Dyer will get clear out of turn 4. New leader with 3 laps to go in stage 2, excuse me. Fire out of the pipes. This guy's got a lot of let off right now through 1 and 2. But there you go, Joey Hickox. He's got the Flatwoods scheme, but there is your race sponsor. The Manny Rays Mafia out here watching tonight from what we heard of. But there you go, the Manny Rays logo right on the side of that 3 truck. Remember, him and Jay actually switched numbers this season. Not sure if that was superstition or what the deal was, but boy, it's worked out well, as they have both made the championship 4, and they are back to all running 1, 2, 3, 4 for the moment. And Parham has not let him walk away just yet, and they've also brought Joey Hickox back into the picture. And you got to remember, even if you're on slightly older tires, that draft has a big effect, but Parham slipped up right there. So now Joey Hickox, he'll take a big dive to the inside, down the back, straight away. And if he can get clear here through 3 and 4, maybe he's got a chance for the 28. And he does, and he'll wash up, as does Justin Parham. So Jay Stinson, he'll look to pick up that position as well. And so it'll look like the right strategy call earlier, maybe not so much anymore for Justin Parham, as they take the white flag in stage number 1. And so Dyer continuing to work through 1 and 2, nice and clean. Joey Hickox about 4 truck lengths back, no pressure right now. So Dyer just going to make sure he keeps it all nice and smooth as they work their way through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in stage number 2. He got the job done in stage 1, and he will do it again. 2 stages down, 1 to go for Matthew Dyer. Man, oh man, this guy continues to impress, showing a lot of speed, as there's the stage caution. And now everybody again going to be put back on the same stuff, 4 fresh tires and fuel now. Remember, we actually saw Dyer fade in that last run. He lost some track position. So when he came down to the pits, he was not in first in terms of like between the championship 4, but he was able to get it back. And man, that was just such an impressive drive back up through the field, and was able to take the lead from his teammate with less than 5 to go, and did not look back. So as he brings it down to get fuel and tires, we are going to take a quick break. We will be right back, get another interview here. Actually, I'll tell you what, we're probably going to do a different one of your championship 4 drivers, try to get intake from all these guys, but we'll get that when we come back. Stick with us at Texas. back live at Texas Motor Speedway for the Manny Rays Championship race. Of course, the last race for the NOMA Truck Series here this season. And we got to talk to Matthew Dyer stage 1, so I think we're going to actually bring up the man who finished second in the stage and who has got a lot of speed as well here tonight, Joey Hickox. Hey, Joey, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're making the championship 4 appearance tonight, and you got a chance to go back-to-back, of course, after capturing the Super Speedway Series championship, but 28's got a lot of speed right now. What adjustments can you make to try to go out there and beat him?
Maybe not burn the tires off as fast on the first few laps here like I did on that last run there, and not hit the apron. I hit the apron there, got really loose. Me and Jason had to get way out of it. He actually had to hit the brakes to keep from hitting me, so would have liked to have been there. Or not do that and see if we could have gave the 20 a little bit bigger run for its money there for that stage.
Well, sometimes towards the end of these runs, we see a late caution. Now, if we do, is this one of those tracks where you think you save a set of tires for the end, or is this all about track position from here on out?
No, man, tires are king here, so we definitely got an extra set sitting down there. That's why we didn't pit there in that one caution, stage 1. So, yeah, if we get a late race caution, I'll be coming down and getting some 4 tires here.
All right. Well, we appreciate you giving us a quick word. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll see if we see you in victory lane.
All right. Appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to bring up his teammate here, 3rd running championship contender, Jay Stinson. Hey, Jay, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how you doing, Austin?
Good. Well, we just got to talk to Joey. Seems like he's feeling okay right now. Said he needs to save his tires a little bit more. Figured you guys got a lot of practice together. So what are you thinking you're going to need here to get around a couple of these guys?
Right, probably for me, I'm probably out of the championship 4, probably the 4th fastest. So I'm gonna need pit strategy, luck, saving tires, and maybe somebody to make a few mistakes. But other than that, I think I got a good shot.
We actually saw, I would honestly say, a little bit of teamwork there. At one point in that run, looked like you and Joey were doing a little tandem on the backstretch versus the grandstand guys. And do you feel like besides that, there's really any way that you guys can work together in this race, or is it just kind of all out for yourself?
No, you know, one thing about me and Joey is team first, and so you know, that's the way we view everything. We're not changing anything just because of the race, and then come down to the last set of laps, then it's, you know, whoever's the best is. So here it's usually him. He's really strong here at Texas, but yeah, no worries about splitting it up too early. We'll stay a team until it's time to go our separate ways there for a little while.
All right. Well, we appreciate you talking to us. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll see if one of you or Joey Hickox can bring it home for Hickox Racing.
I appreciate it. Thanks, awesome.
And now we're going to talk to your final championship 4 contender here tonight. He's fallen back just about a position here, and that is Justin Parham. Hey, Justin, this is also up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, right now, sitting last out of all the championship 4, but we saw some glimpses of speed there. A little bit of an early pit call. How'd you feel about it?
Well, not good in the end. My tires fell off a little quicker than theirs, and I ended up sliding back to 4th. The main thing with this race is trying to save those tires. But I believe I ran a little too hard, too, after I made that pit stop.
We know it's your teammate's last race. If you get up there, do you cut him any slack, or do you still go at it with him pretty hard?
We'll stay clean, but we'll race it out. We just prefer one of us to take home the championship, but we'll race it out, keep it clean.
Said that answer perfectly. Hey, good luck the rest of the way. We'll see if we're talking to you at the end.
All right, thank you.
Boy, he did speak that perfectly too. Said, we're going to keep it clean, but we are going to race it out. That's what racing is all about. Who is going to get the job done? This is the final stage in the NOMA Truck Series Championship race tonight at Texas. Matthew Dyer, Joey Hickox, row 1. Jay Stinson, Richard Hurst, row 2. David Traylor and Justin Parham, row 3. Here we go. Back into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Back green at Texas. Yellow flag immediately off the bat. Riley Gomes with trouble, and it's right off the restart. The 9 gets it looped back around. Looks like the 03 of Keith Prince also involved. Don't see much, if any, damage to either of these trucks, but certainly would appear that this was a restart mix-up. And so Gomes keeps going. I was trying to see if, I don't believe he's got any damage. Yeah, no, he looks to be pretty clean from every view that I can see. So let's go back and take a look. And so coming to the restart here, here's the restart zone. And they go green, and Riley gets in the grass. Ooh, that is a mistake. by Riley Gomes, and it's a lot easier to do here than you would expect, and I'll show you why here from the cockpit view. That grass kind of pokes out a little bit right here. And so where Riley is, he can't exactly see the corner. He knows he's close, but he's going to just try to follow this truck in front. But take a listen to the RPMs here. Yeah, you hear it right there. The back tire just gets in the grass, spins the tires, and that sends him right around. And then looked like, I believe it was Keith Prince who actually did T-bone him, I believe just had nowhere to go. So here we go, take a different angle of it here. And yeah, it was Keith Prince. Zach Stevens as well, also nowhere to go. Chase Greer slid through the grass. So all in all, gives him some damages. Shoutcaster Sam says Riley Gomes has been given the required damage flag. That is, it's got to be something suspension related then. Oh, it probably is. You know what? Actually, take it back. I couldn't see from that view, but if that was the case, look at his left front here. Compare this. Yeah, that left front looks banged in, or excuse me, right front looks banged in pretty far. Makes me think that maybe the toe got knocked out of line here. You compare that to a guy like Chase Greer here as he gets going, and watch his right front here. Yeah, you see it's right. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. Riley Gomes' front suspension was knocked all out of whack. That's what's going to be that required damage. That's why we didn't see it initially. But take another look here for Riley Gomes. We saw the onboard cam here, but take a look from the wall cam. And I mean, yeah, all in all, that is a pretty hard hit to the left or the right front suspension rather. So not too surprised, I would say, that actually did break it. But tough break for Riley Gomes. He should have that one fast pair left though, so he could use it. And yeah, it was a hard hit for Keith Prince. Right out of the get-go, Grant Turner and Matthew Fritz were able to check up to miss it. And if you actually, not sure if this will give us a good view of it or not, but if we go to the right front here for Riley Gomes, there you go. Kind of take a look where his wheel is right here. And just kind of keep an eye on that, and you compare that to a guy who was not involved in this wreck, say Grant Turner. And there you go. Look at the difference in gap right at the front. Look how much white space you see there. Not really that much. Riley Gomes, a lot more. So I think that definitely got knocked to the left, right about where he had got hit. So a tough break for the 9. As we go back up front, no change for your leaders there, as we just didn't really get long enough to get green for there to be. Matthew Dyer still being scored as your leader. Joey Hickok second. Jay Stinson third. Richard Hurst fourth. David Traylor in fifth. Justin Parham back in sixth with Kenneth Redinger back up to seventh now. Sam Boutwell eighth. DJ Maddish ninth. And Matthew Fritz currently rounding out your top 10. And so this caution, I don't think this does too much for these guys in terms of the fuel strategy. And it's going to be under 60 laps to go now once we go back green. So expecting only one pit stop right here. And then they should be good to go the rest of the way. And I think maybe you split it in half. Well, actually, maybe you go as late as you can right here, as that seemed to be the winning strategy for stage number 2. And everybody that we heard in the interviews bring up tires said that you got to save your tires. So we'll see if they can do it. And it's hard to do because it gets so tempting to start getting racy as a driver, but man, in the back end, you certainly can feel it if you did not save those Goodyear tires. But take a look real quick at where we head next here on Ghost Racing Network. By the way, 21 people showing out tonight to root on their drivers. Appreciate everybody being here. And that's tomorrow night. We head over to the NSRA Sunday Select Series. And those guys getting ready to be in their championship race here in just a week or two. So make sure you don't miss out on tomorrow's race to see who is going to make it in. And as always, appreciate everybody that has tuned out here tonight. All right, so as the pace truck is going to make a lap, should get the one to go signal right here. As in fact, let's take a look here at your driver cams. Richard Hurst currently sitting in that 4th position. He's up 6 total tonight from where he started this race at. And you have to go a little bit further back, just behind him here. I say just behind, a bit further back. Grant Turner currently sits in 12th. The driver out of Akron, Ohio. And there he is. He's got the pedal cam for us here tonight as well. This thing's been getting pretty good use, especially late in the run when those tires get worn out. You got to be really, really patient on the throttle. So Grant Turner still looking to see if he could capture that first win potentially here tonight. We will have to see. There you go. Gives the salute to the people watching back home. As what have I done here? And we'll leave that alone for now, as I made a little bit of a mistake with the driver cam. But nonetheless, as we talked about getting ready to go back green here, and Matthew Dyer has gotten out to a really good jump on every restart that he has led here tonight. So these guys are going to have to figure out something sooner or later And the question is going to be, is it on this one? I think if you're Joey Hickox, maybe, I don't know, it's a hard call as a driver, but you got to try something here. Remember, if Joey goes even a little bit too early, he could get black flagged, and you see just how hard it is to see. I'm not sure if these guys got triples, but assuming they got a one monitor where our scoring tower is, you can't really see much there anyway. I mean, even if we take that away real quick, you can see it's a little tough to see that 28, and to determine exactly when he's going is hard in itself. So here we go. Right on board this time with Joey Hickox to see if he can get a good read on the 28 truck. Back into the Geico restart zone. 93 laps complete. Does not. Gets caught sleeping again. Green flag is back in the air. Matthew Dyer off to the races early as he gets through the gears. Jay Stinson quickly trying to jump to the inside of his teammate. He's going to do just that through 1 and 2. We have seen Joey in front of Jay all night, but what kind of speed does the 31 have if he could get in front? Looks like Joey is going to cut him a break here. We'll let him drop in front and gives him a little bit of a push down the back straightaway. Jay Stinson into turn 3. All these guys giving chase still to Matthew Dyer, trying to jump in line. The 3 and the 31 both get up the track. Now Richard Hurst has a run. He'll look to jump to the inside. Almost some contact. Big block by Joey Hickox to the middle now. Back to the top, trying to fend off the 76 and the 19. He does just that. And into turn 1, it's going to cost Parham in a big way. He slips back as his teammate Kenneth Redinger looks to the inside now. He gets loose. A lot of hard racing up back. Parham's going to jump back to the inside, trying to get around Richard Hurst. He knows that he can't lose touch with these top 4, and so he's going to get really aggressive right there with Richard Hurst, and it'll work out. As the 19 gets around the 76, he'll tuck back in line behind Joey Hickox and Jay Stinson. And so how much more does the 19 go for right now? Again, we heard Parham, one of the guys, say you got to save tire, but I know he's also trying to fend off Richard Hurst, but Richard Hurst is giving it to him right now. A really, really fast truck for Richard Hurst at the moment, but we said this last week that Richard Hurst is one of those guys where he just gets faster every single race. I mean, I feel like you could put him in these without any practice, and by the end of the race, he's got a top 5 truck. And man, it's showing here again tonight. And so with 97 laps to go as they stand right now, well, it's going to change here as Richard Hurst is going to actually pick up that position from the 19. He gives Joey Hickox a push. Ooh, maybe he gets into the wall. And so that'll allow Parham to slip back by, and it puts your championship contenders 1, 2, 3, 4 with Matthew Dyer leading, Jay Stinson in second, Joey Hickox third, and Justin Parham in fourth. And Parham sees a little bit of drag racing out back. Yellow flag is out. Trouble further back. It's DJ Maddish in the 25. Heavy damage to that truck as the right front, you can see, is completely ripped off. That's going to be an immediate tow bill, as it does not look like he's going to be able to get it restarted. So this could potentially put DJ Maddish's night to an end. Actually, I believe he's still got a fast pair, but man, what happens here for the 25? This has to be a save. Ooh, Zach Stevens. He got huge damage as well. This actually involves 2 trucks. And find what's going to give us the best angle of this one. Here we go. Back this up and see DJ Maddish, Zach Stevens 3 wide. Looks like DJ maybe getting a little loose, starting to come down. He makes contact with Zach Stevens. And it's a bad point to do it because that's going to turn the 21 hard head on into the outside wall. And it destroys the front end of both of those trucks. Riley Gomes dirt tracking it on the apron to save it and not get collected with these two. And then you see Zach Stevens more contact with the inside wall, and then DJ Maddish, suspension, everything totaled at this point on that truck. And so it did bring out the caution as there was debris. You see just sitting there on the back straightaway. That is huge damage for Zach Stevens. He's trying to get it back going, but doesn't look like he's got much, if any, steering. So he eventually had to come to a stop. Let's go back and take a look at this from a bit of a different angle here. Look from the chopper view. All right, so here we go. Back this all the way up to where this is going to start. And again, I think DJ's maybe getting a bit loose right here, but keep an eye on kind of a reference point for each of these guys. So DJ Maddish right here. Right side's below the seam, but man, he really looks sideways to me, but I just can't tell. But gets the left fronts above the seam. Zach Stevens, the move was maybe a little aggressive, but it looked like he maintained his line. So I still think that DJ Maddish was just maybe getting loose. Best way to find out is going to be with an onboard ride. Exactly what we'll do here. Take a ride on board here with the 25 all the way back in turn 1 and 2. And this incident happened in 1 and 2, but somehow did not draw the caution until 3 and 4. So watch his hands here. Oh, yeah, he's really loose. Yeah, He's not loose when they make contact. He saves it, but it's just hard racing between both of those guys. And you get up there in the marbles, sometimes that's what happens. But like I said, it looked like DJ actually saved it. And this is 3 and 4 when the caution actually comes out as he rolled to a stop on the apron. Take 2 more looks at this one here. The TV static view. Watch this hit. Boom. Destroying both of those trucks. So we take one final angle of this one here from TV2. And coming through 1 and 2. Yeah, DJ got up the track, got really loose. That's what allowed Zach to actually get to the inside, which is what ultimately led to the contact and the big hit. And look at the suspension now. DJ Mattish almost rips the right front tire off. And then Zach Stevens here can take another shot to the inside wall. So he will also have to use a fast repair. And as we go back live up front, it is Matthew Dyer being scored as your leader. Sam Bowell now in second. Grant Turner third. Keith Prince fourth. Justin Parham fifth. David Traylor sixth. Jay Stinson seventh. Joey Hickox in eighth. Richard Hurst ninth. Matthew Fritz in 10th. So that tells me maybe we had a little bit of strategy call right here during this last yellow flag. And in fact, that's what I'm taking a look at right now. And from the looks of it here, yeah, it doesn't look like Matthew Dyer chose to pit, but it does look like Joey Hickox, Jay Stinson did. So a strategy call. We saw Dyer actually do this earlier, got him the stage 1 win, and it gave that truck a ton of speed, but we talked about there might be a point later in the race where it could bite him, and that could be this point right here as we cross the line this time. It is going to be exactly 50 laps to go. And so, again, still expecting that one green flag pit stop. That window should open up here and probably about 25, and maybe a little less than that, maybe 20 laps or so. But I think you'll see guys wait till 25 or 30 laps from when we go green to pit. And if you're on the newer tires here, boy, I feel like you're in a really good spot. You can almost go burn those tires off, get up to the lead, get out there quicker, and then once you start to even out or lose time, then make your pit stop, and you've already gained that time. We'll see what strategies everybody decides to take. Keith Prince, Grant Turner, 2 of your non-championship contenders right now in your top 5. Sam Boutwell as well. Of course, you can't count out David Traylor up there in the top 10. Matthew Fritz, Richard Hurst, and Fritz struggled at the start of this race, so it's good to see him now inside the top 10. But small field here tonight, 16 trucks. It looks like we already had one out early. Ronnie Morrison and DJ Mattish, Zach Stevens appear that they might be out of this one as well. The heavy damage they sustained currently not being shown on track or in the pits. And so that'll narrow us down to 13 trucks. Everybody in that top 13 currently on the lead lap. So here we go. Out of turn number 4. The pace truck going to make the left turn again down to the pits. And it looks like it is going to be exactly 49 laps remaining in the NOMA Truck Series season here tonight for the championship race. Green flag back in the air. Matthew Dyer off to the races again with a good jump. Sam Boutwell quickly through the gears. But keep your eyes out back all the way. I would say right at maybe Justin Parham on back. That's where we're going to start seeing the fresh tires. And I want to see just how quickly these guys are able to work their way through the field. But you got to be careful these first couple laps. Those tires got to get warmed up. But look at the run for Justin Parham. I mean, just flying. Looks like he is in a rocket ship compared to these guys. Jay Stinson trying to follow as he'll get to the inside of Keith Prince and Sam Boutwell. And man, it is looking like these new tires are getting ready to eat Matthew Dyer up. I'm not sure if he was saving those expecting a late caution, but this was not the right strategy call for the 28, and it's looking like now he is going to need a caution in a hurry. Jay Stinson up to second as Parham takes the lead, and Dyer with a little bit of a mistake. He has to check up big time. Grant Turner's going to push the issue. Now Joey Hickox and Grant Turner get together. Turner has to drop back a spot, and Matthew Dyer has now lost 4 since he took the green flag on the restart. And again, I just don't think it was the right call for the 28. He committed to it. And these fresher tires have just absolutely blown by the 28, who is now back half a second from your leader, and that's Justin Parham. He's got Jay Stinson, though, and Joey Hickox hot on his tail. They are not wanting to let him get away. Checkup out back is going to lead to an even bigger stack up here. Grant Turner able to save it again further back. Keith Prince all the way back to last on that inside line. And all this aggressive racing stems from when you get that mix of guys on new tires versus guys on old tires. And right now, as I said, it looks to me like the new tires was 100% the right call. And so all Dyer can do at this point is get in line wherever he can, hope that these front guys get to racing hard. Maybe somebody draws a caution and he can go take tires. So the 28 all the way back to 5th as Jay Stinson. This is his first time really challenging for the lead here tonight. Boy, he's looking pretty strong as he's working a couple different lanes. Joey kind of acting as the defense right now, letting his teammate try to get up here, race, see if he's got anything for Justin Parham. And if he doesn't, maybe Joey pounces here in a couple laps and he tries his hand. But Justin Parham talked about saving tires. It's going to be a lot harder to do when you're leading and you're trying to fend off some of these guys being as aggressive as Jay Stinson is. But Jay took a look to the high side. He got a big enough run. Where is he going to try to the inside? Tries, nothing doing. He'll tuck back down in line. Parham still leads, but now we're seeing Matthew Dyer actually try to make a little bit of a comeback here. On the outside line goes the 28. He's trying to get back around Richard Hurst. Richard Hurst on the inside of the 28. Going to stay there all the way into turn 1. Dyer on the high side. That's not going to be the place to be on these older tires. But he is going to send it in deep and hope it sticks, and it does just that. He makes up even more position here. He's got it working. Oh, he gets some contact with the outside wall, trying to make it work a little bit too much. He got into Joey Hickox. Let's back that up. The 28 looked like he had a big run for him, and it was a little bit too big right here as you see him just get a little bit loose, gets into the outside wall, and oh, he did not get into Joey Hickox. What happened was Joey saw it and dove low, so man, what a close call. A good save for both of those guys, but that has allowed Dyer to get back up to 4th. So, boy, he's driving the wheels off of it right now, and he does not look comfortable, but he's doing what he's got to do to try to give himself a chance. Kenneth Redinger coming back to the picture now as he is back up into 5th. Going to be looking for 4th here in just a moment. Taking a look off the nose cam for Joey Hickox. He's got his teammate Jay Stinson still challenging for the lead. Joey's actually giving these guys a little bit more breathing room now as he sits about 2/10 back from your leaders. Meanwhile, Justin Parham continues to hold off Jay Stinson. And I talk about it every lap that you hold him off, the easier it's going to get. It's slow, but that's kind of how the process works at a track like Texas. But now, did Parham open the inside up? No, he did not. Took a wider arc, but Jay just could not hold the truck down long enough to make the run work. So Jay Stinson has to bail out of the throttle again. It's now going to be 41 laps to go at Texas. As we go on board here, actually, let's go on board with Jay Stinson. I mean, right now, he is just running directly in the tire tracks of Justin Parham, and that's just making it really difficult for him to gain ground, and those tires are having to work a lot harder on the 31 than they are on the 19. So here you go, through 3 and 4. This is where Jay slips up a little bit, but that time, Justin's actually the man that slips up. Jay's going to have a big run right here if he wants to make a move. I think this is going to be the time to do it. Will he take a look to the inside? He does, and he bails out of it. Lets the 19 go. We know Jay's one of the more conservative guys, and right now appears to be taking a more conservative approach, but got to be careful. You want to get that clean air. Now he's going to make the move as he jumps to the inside. Down the back straightaway on the 19. This is the battle for the lead. Joey Hickox sees this, and he is quickly going to pull right up to the back bumper. Try to give his teammate a push if he requires so, but Jay Stinson, he will take the lead out of turn 4. First time tonight that the 31 has been out in front, and he is picking a good time to do it. Meanwhile, further back, Dyer, I think he may have had another mistake as he has now fallen back to the 7th position. We know he's got the speed, but right now his biggest enemy is just the tires, and there's nothing he can do about it at this point. Those guys got fresh tires. He's got old tires. He's just got to hope for a caution. But as everybody gets more spread out, that chance for a caution becomes less and less likely as it is right now. And yeah, it looks like those 3 trucks that retired earlier have not returned. Thought maybe Zach Stevens and DJ Mattis did, but they have officially called it quits. They have taken it back to the trailer for the night. So the most heated battle now is going to be the battle for 2nd as Richard Hurst trying to get by Joey Hickox. Oh, Hurst loses it. Big shot into the inside wall for Richard Hurst. No caution. We stay green. That is major damage for Richard Hurst, as it looked like he just got loose off of turn 2. Now the caution does fly. That is exactly what Matthew Dyer needed, as you see his hood is actually in the cockpit of the truck. Oh my goodness. I have not seen that one before. He's trying to get that thing out. Yeah, somebody needs to get that out of there. That cannot be safe. So Richard Hurst will come down as it finally looks like it flies off. That is major damage. It looked like he just got injured. Or I meant to say it looked like he just got loose off of the turn as we take a look. Let's go back here and take a look. The injured part would have came with the hood flying through his windshield, but man, he had been showing a lot of speed, but it seems like a lot of these weeks when he gets to the front, that's where the bad luck catches on. And so here we go. We'll back this up. And as he's coming out of turn number 2 right here, yeah, he just gets into the outside wall. So I said he got loose. He actually got tight, I'm assuming here. Yeah, that's going to be what happens. So he's riding behind Joey Hickok's. First view I want to do here is the cockpit. And so, yeah, it's just getting up the track on him. He's trying to turn it. He does get loose. So he actually follows Joey. And, you know, maybe got the eyes caught a little bit on the back bumper of Joey here. But Joey misses the exit as well. So when Joey gets in the wall, Richard follows, gets in the wall the exact same way. But it's going to launch that truck straight back into the inside wall. That's where he gets all the damage. Then, of course, the hood that flew into the windshield. So we take a couple more looks and back this up some more. The caution came out again really late. It's been the case a couple times tonight, but watch this hit here. Once he gets loose, boy, that was a close call. Justin Parham saw that, and I think he was going to go to the inside, saw this, but thankfully Richard Hurst got out of the way just in time. But, man, destroys the front end of his Ford F-150. So we take just a couple more angles of this. Somehow this ends up only being a one-truck wreck. This certainly looked right off the get-go like it was going to potentially collect a couple, but again, it was for the best that Richard Hurst was able to keep it on that inside wall. If he comes back up, that maybe collects quite a few more trucks. I believe he does have a fast pair left. I know I saw him in that wreck earlier, but I don't know if he had to use a fast pair on it or not. So as he gets back going, that is going to be what brings out one of our few in-race cautions here tonight. This was him limping it back to the pits, and it was that interesting photo that we saw with all the damage. So we will go back live up front. Richard Hurst still in the pits, and it looks to me like he did not have that fast repair, unfortunately. As you see, he would have used it by now. He didn't have to tow, so it's a really, really tough break for the 76, as that is most likely going to bring his night to an end. Go back, actually take one more look at this wreck here from the onboard of Justin Parham. As, boy, we talk about racing in general as a game of inches, but avoiding this wreck itself was a game of inches. Watch this. So Justin's going to slide up. He sees it. His initial reaction is go to the inside, but sees him going to the inside quickly, yanks it back right. And, man, he just, and I mean just misses him. And then there's that big hit for Richard Hurst. And it does indeed bring out what was the 6th caution of the night, but I believe the 3rd caution due to incident, as we did have the 2 stage break cautions. So 116 of 150 laps now complete. It is Jay Stinson being scored as your leader. Joey Hickok's in 2nd. Kenneth Redinger up to 3rd. Justin Parham in 4th. And Matthew Dyer, boy, we talked about the man that needed to see that caution. It was Matthew Dyer, and he got it. So we'll see what he can do from here. In fact, I want to go take a look here to make sure, should say confirm rather, that he did indeed choose to pit under that caution, and I'm thinking a lot of these guys did, and yeah, it certainly looks that way. It looks like most of the field did decide to pit, and Matthew Dyer being one of those, and that may have just saved his chances at a championship. He is now going to have a chance to go back up and battle with these guys, and talked about he had been one of the fastest trucks, but that could have brought his night to an end if we didn't get a caution, because he had older tires and just could not really hang with the rest of the field. And so taking a look here, we're going to have a couple guys choose to go in and top off, and, you know, actually maybe getting a little close on fuel here. I'm not sure if these guys can necessarily make it, but, I mean, you figure we're going to go green here with just over 40 laps left. Excuse me, just over 30 laps left in this race. So, yeah, actually, I think there's a good chance that everybody can make it from this point. It's going to be close. Remember, stage 1, if we would have went green, I believe everybody could make it, was going to be about 28 laps. And then stage 2, that second run they went, I believe, was about 30. So, yeah, this is going to be close, but I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance that everybody is able to make it here. We'll find out here. If we don't see pit stops, I would say by probably lap 40, I would say just go ahead and assume we're probably not going to see them much at all as we approach 11:30, and also getting closer to crowning ourselves a champion. Looks like a couple more people in the chat here. Says, go Jay. Says, good to see Hurst out of this race. Was threatening to wreck other drivers. Well, I don't know about that one, Shoutcaster. I'd say take it easy. He's just out here racing with everybody else, and certainly was doing a heck of a job at it. Wasn't trying to put anybody in jeopardy. If he was, he could have turned back up the track, but Nonetheless, Nancy Hickok says, oh no, Richard. GT500 Cobra says yellows are late due to iRacing issue. Oh, interesting. NOMA TV, Richard Hurst says truck is toast. And Nancy Hickok, there you go. She said it perfectly. Class act getting out of the way. Green flag is back in the air. It's going to be 43 laps to go at Texas. Right out of the gate, Jay Stinson this time was the leader on the restart, and he got a big jump. Joey Hickox on the inside is quickly going to be able to jump into second, and right now, this is the ideal situation for Hickox Racing. Is I don't know if Joey will necessarily battle Jay too hard. Oh, Joey got loose, so now that's actually going to allow Redinger and Parham to jump to the inside, throw away everything I just said. Redinger will now take over second. Parham trying to do the same, but Joey going to fight really hard here. He knows that that's what he's got to do. Can Parham get clear? Can't yet. Now he does, and he's going to get some aero help from his teammate Matthew Dyer, who's also going to jump to the inside. The three of Joey Hickox. That little bit of a slip-up has now cost him 2 to 3 spots as you see Redinger getting really aggressive, and I wish I could urge to Jay right now, let him go. It's not worth it. Here is the battle you got to worry about. Justin Parham, Joey Hickox, and Matthew Dyer. There is all 4 of your final 4 contenders all in one camera frame as now Justin Parham will take the lead in that battle. Jay Stinson on the outside. Dyer is going to try to slip into third, maybe second in the battle as they race down the front straightaway. And Sam Boutwell also trying to get to the inside here of Joey Hickox. He's racing really hard. Nothing doing yet, but he'll take another look as now maybe gets a little bit loose coming off of turn number 2. Redinger up front already has slipped away to almost a 0.4 of a second lead. He's going to be looking for more here, but I think that Joey Hickox, Jay Stinson, maybe even Matthew Dyer right here. I can't even tell. Maybe Parham too. These guys have all got to be thinking tire save right now because, again, 30 laps to go. I think you're good on fuel. That's going to be the end of a tire run, so you're going to need these Goodyears at the end of this race if you want a chance to go up there and battle for it. And all night, Dyer had been the fastest out of these 4 in that situation, but Jay showing some recent speed. Parham fighting hard here and just not. I know Jay's trying to keep it, but I think he's just burning himself too much tire right here the longer that they race side by side like this. So further back, Matthew Fritz on the outside of Sam Boutwell. He'll jump in line, but here's the view right now that Joey Hickox is seeing as he sees all 3 guys that he's got to beat tonight out his front windshield right now. And Jay, slipping up big time, man. Jay got really loose again. This time the 19 will finally clear, and the 28's going to clear as well. So Jay should drop in line as he does. Joey cuts him a bit of a break into 3. And so all of a sudden, what was Hickox racing in front, Grandstand racing behind, has now switched to Grandstand racing in front with Hickox racing behind. And I know I didn't specifically say it tonight, but I feel like it should go without saying that how impressive is that you have 2 teams. That's it, 2 teams in total making up the championship 4. And they've got 2 trucks each, so it's kind of a half-on-half battle. Hickox Racing with Joey Hickox and Jay Stinson, then of course Grandstand Racing with Matthew Dyer and Justin Parham. All veterans of the league, but Matthew Dyer, his last race before retirement here tonight, as his work schedule is supposedly not going to allow him to race next season. So, said last race, this would be it. And man, oh man, how sweet would it be if he could get the job done tonight. As they cross the line next time, it is going to be 26 laps to go. As everybody starts to line up, we are going to take our final side-by-side break, and then we will stay here for the finish. Stick with us. You won't miss a thing. We'll be right back at Texas. Back live at No Limits, Texas, getting closer to the conclusion of the championship race. And, of course, who are we going to crown as our champion? Well, that's what we're waiting to find out. But right now, it is a heated battle between all four of them. You saw a lead change, or almost a lead change, but a couple position changes during the break. Kenneth Redinger still well out in front for the race lead, but the championship lead, they are still all four lined up. It's Justin Palm leading, Jay Stinson second in it, Matthew Dyer third in it. And, Joey's going to get into Dyer. Dyer's going to make some contact. He's trying to save it. Can he hold on? Oh, my goodness. What a save from Matthew Dyer. Joey Hickox gave him a little bit of a shot, but the 28 holds on. Are you kidding me? That is going to cost both of them a ton of time as they fall over 2 seconds back from the other championship two. But Dyer just saved himself a chance at this race, as I thought for sure he was wrecked. Not exactly sure what started this. I mean, obviously there was contact, but like Joey came out of nowhere in the sense of, I was trying to figure out, did he like dive in or did Dyer just get loose? From that view, it looks to me like Joey gets in a little deep, but I think we're going to have to go to an onboard here and take a listen. So here we go. Before we look at that view, let's back this up and go to an onboard before we look at this save, which is just, I mean, incredible. So here we go. Getting into the corner. Yeah, I think Joey just gets in a lot deeper. Joey maybe thinking Dyer was going to get into the corner deeper and just a little bit of a misjudgment. There you go. Yeah, I think Joey just misjudged it a little bit. And he gets into Matthew Dyer, squares him up pretty good. That gets Dyer out of shape. Then Dyer saves it not once, but twice. And, I mean, I could not tell you how all these guys kept from wrecking there. That was, as we like to say sometimes, that was a wreck that just did not happen. I mean, that was absolutely incredible. So watch this. So Dyer's taking a more conservative approach. Joey taking a little bit more of an aggressive entry. When he gets into him, that gets Dyer out of whack immediately. Grant Turner helps him save it initially, but then the truck still trying to get itself together. Gets out of line almost right away again here. And then this is where Dyer has the even better save. He's able to keep going, take one more look at this one through the cockpit cam again. And watch the work he has to do with his hands here to keep this truck from wrecking. There's the initial bump. Here you go, saves it. Grant Turner helps him, saves it. Now here he's really loose, and he's going to save it again, all while keeping his foot at least somewhat in the gas. Might be our save of the night, but unfortunately with 16 laps to go, that has put Dyer in a very, very bad spot. But here comes Redinger to pit. And so you got to wonder, maybe pit stops are expected here. Very shocked to see Redinger pit if these guys didn't need to. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe they weren't quite going to be able to make this fuel window. It had to have been close. But we'll see if Parham or anybody else decides to pit. Otherwise, again, not really sure exactly why Redinger would pit, as we now have 12 cars remaining in the race, all of them, of course, on the lead lap. And so that will hand Parham the lead. Jay Stinson back in second now with Matthew Fritz up to third. First time on the podium for him here tonight. Grant Turner back in fourth. Joey Hickox in fifth. And there's Matthew Dyer back in sixth. They have somewhat close back up on this battle, but they still got a lot of work to do if they want to catch these top two. Right now, the biggest battle is Jay Stinson versus Justin Parham. Jay with a little bit of a help from his teammate behind him here. Now Joey going to make the move on Grant Turner. So Joey, I think what happened there was he had to start actually pushing the issue. So we'll see if that hurts him here with tires. But, man, he looks like a man on a mission right now as nobody pitting yet. Everybody continues to stay out. Dyer back up here as well. And so what in the world happened? I mean, they caught him really, really quick. You got to wonder if Parham and Jay are just trying to save tire, or I mean, I don't think they'd be saving any fuel, but again, to see them catch up that quick after losing that much time, and you know when they slide like that, it hurts their tires. That's just really surprising, but Jay has not been able to find a way around Justin Parham. Again, just been tracking the footsteps, but we saw this during the last green flag run, and he didn't make his move till late in that run. Boy, when he made the move, he had the speed to hold on from there. So with 12 laps to go, you still got some time. But slowly starting to run out of it, I believe that is about 18 miles remaining here at Texas Motor Speedway. 150 laps to decide a champion, and it is all going to come down to probably about the last 10. Is as quickly as your championship four got separated, just that quickly, they got put back together, and Shoutcaster Sam, who's kind of been acting as a pit reporter at this point for the night, says field was trying to save fuel, it seems. They're running 0.2 to 0.3 slow on each lap, and yeah, it certainly seems that way, so I guess it could certainly make sense that would be the case for some of these guys here. As we take a look at the lap time for Justin Parham. Actually, we'll do Jay Stinson compared to Joey Hickox. There you go, 30.9, 30.7, so actually, yeah, Stinson's been significantly slower. I mean, all but those last 2 laps before that, they were about half a second slower for a couple laps. So yeah, maybe they did save a little bit of fuel. So maybe Redinger was just pushing the pace, knowing he's not good to go, hoping these guys will run out. Meanwhile, your championship contenders maybe feel like it's too close to try to pit, and you got to try to stay out. But let's take a look at the throttle input here and take a listen with Parham, see if we can hear anything really out of the ordinary. And I mean, from that view, everything looks pretty normal to me here. Jay Stinson sets up a pass. Didn't see this one coming. To the inside goes to 31. Parham, can he lock into second here? I don't know. Joey Hickox is trying to get back to his inside. Parham looking for a side draft on Jay Stinson as they drag race down the front straightaway with 9 laps to go. Trying everything to get there. Wow, Justin Parham sent it deep on the outside through 1 and 2. Question is, can he make it stick? He can't. He'll stay side by side, but not able to get back clear of Jay Stinson. Jay should have the advantage over here through 3 and 4, especially as Joey Hickox also is going to dive down to the bottom, but can his teammate get to him to give him a push? Oh, Jay gets really loose to the pits. Oh, that's going to give him a speeding penalty, I think. We'll see if that gets cleared. Jay had to save it. I would think that one would get cleared. I'm not sure, but it looked to me like he maybe got under the commitment cone in trying to do so. Oh, and that would be terrible if that ended Jay's race. He was trying so hard on the inside. I've had that happen before here in the trucks. You're trying everything to hold it down there and maintain speed, and once it steps out, man, it can just get so hard to catch it, but it may not. I don't think it caught him, actually. I think that first cone might be okay. You certainly got to hope that was the case right there for Jay Stinson. So he stays out, and he's going to try to get his head back in the game. We'll see how hard Grant Turner battles him here. Doesn't look like he's going to give him too much of a fuss as Jay Stinson quickly dropping back down to the inside. And so as we go back up front here, we'll try this again with Justin Parham now. But I was wondering if it was maybe saving any fuel and if we could take a listen. But speed-wise, I mean, doesn't seem that far off. If they're saving, it's got to be very, very little. But you certainly want to make sure you have enough. The worst thing you could do is run out on the last lap if guys behind you are good to go. Track temp at 73, been cool all night, as it is currently 2 in the morning sim time. And we are winding down on what's going to be the final 5 laps of your championship race here soon. Oh, we got 3 wide further out back here. Kenneth Redinger on those new tires, quickly making some progress. Again, he's a lap down right now, but if these guys have to pit, then I can almost promise you that the 24 wins this race hands down, no question. But if they're able to make it out, then we very well might see one of your Championship 4 come home with the win, as we're going to have a race for the lead here. Joey Hickox to the inside of Justin Parham. This could be for the championship win. Again, not sure exactly what fuel's looking like, but right now, the man out in front of the race and the Championship 4 is Justin Parham. We're going to be coming to 4 laps to go next time. Jay Stinson further back, making a move to the inside right here of Matthew Dyer, trying to get clear. Dyer not been able to make the speed that he's had the whole race right now. And you got to wonder still, is he saving? But Jay Stinson is now back up to 3rd. And with 4 laps to go, your Championship 4 run 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are all within a second of each other. If we make it all the way to the white flag, this race would be official. And remember, just about everybody in here is a favorite for their own reason, but in terms of the track selection, you had to think that this would be a Joey Hickox favorite pick because he loves Texas, but now gets really loose off of 4. That'll cost him a little bit more time as they now take 3 laps to go. And Joey right here, he's just pushing for all he's worth, and this is where you got to be careful. Can't make a mistake. Joey, I know he's got to go for it here, but he's got a chance with that draft, but it's just getting so tough, and there you go. The 24 of Redinger not going to help his cause as he jumps to the outside, and will Redinger try to help Parham here? No, he's going to go right around. He'll let these guys race it out themselves. And Joey, he slips up again, just getting loose off of 4. He's going to have to bail out to save it again. This time it's going to cost him a spot as his teammate Jay Stinson will go by. And with 2 laps to go, the 19 still out in front. Jay Stinson now looking like the only guy that may have a chance at catching this 19 truck. And he's got a little bit of run down the back, maybe some contact with the wall. Oh, what a round out back. Grant Turner with some trouble. Does he save it? He's still on the outside wall. Not sure how much damage it gave him, but he's going to be able to hold it clean. It looks like all the way through. Stinson with a big run, though. Parham maybe with a mistake. Here we go down the front stretch. Jay Stinson side by side. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go at Texas. And this is for all the money, everything you worked for all season. You got to make it happen now. Jay Stinson with a little bump to Justin Parham. That'll get the 19 loose. Now they're going to drag race down the back straightaway. It's going to come down to a battle through 3 and 4. Here we go. Oh, some contact. Both of them get up the track. Jay coming back down. Joey Hickox is going to go around. Dyer loose out back. And what about it? Joey Hickox is going to win it at Texas. And he wins both championships, the Super Speedway Series and the Truck Series. And I'll tell you what, I ran out of time to even call what was happening there because I couldn't figure it out. Holy moly, what in the world did we just see? Matthew Dyer comes home second, Jay Stinson third, and Justin Parham leading on the white flag lap finishes in 9th. And as we take a look at your finishing results, one thing we're certainly going to have to do is go back and take a look at that finish. That was, man. So Joey Hickox, he's going to burn down the house here a little bit. I think this was maybe his most winning season in all of the NOMA Truck Series. Again, I wasn't here at the start of it, but I think he collected 4 in total throughout the season. Not sure if it was 4 or 5, but point is it was a lot. So Joey Hickox, as he gets ready to celebrate here, his teammate Matthew Fritz going to give him a little congratulations. And man, oh man, this guy, we talked about he was on a tear coming in. And he is your season champion. Let's go back. Actually, before we go back, let's take a look at your finishing results here for the night. I was kind of wondering if Joey's maybe out of fuel. Not sure if he's not able to do a burnout, but here you go. Joey Hickox, your winner and championship winner. Well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Your winner here at Texas, and of course, your champion here for the NOMA Truck Series this season. Matthew Dyer brings it home second. It's going to be Jay Stinson in third, David Traylor in fourth, Grant Turner back in fifth with Keith Prince sixth, Sam Boutwell in seventh, with Matthew Fritz in eighth, Justin Parham ninth, Chase Greer in 10th, Riley Gomes 11th with Kenneth Redinger in 12th, Richard Hurst 13th, DJ Manish 14th, Zach Stevens in 15th, and Ronnie Morrison back rounding out the field in 16th. All right. Let's go back, take a look at, you know what, we need to take a look at this whole white flag because there was so much stuff going on here. So this is all going to start with a move that honestly kind of comes out of nowhere here from Jay Stinson. I thought for sure he was too far back, but here you go, coming out of 4, he jumps to the outside, was able to get the truck to stick, and this is where he makes the move. Actually was leading coming to the white flag here, and then through 1 and 2, he's going to take a wide arc here. He's going to get down low and gives Parham a little bit of a shot right there. No harm, no foul. Gets to his inside. And now it is going to be a drag race down the back. Here we go. All the action, though, going to happen here in turn 3. So there's actually some contact between the two, which is what messes these before they even get to the turn. So I want to see if we can get a better angle of this. Might have to go to the chopper view here. So going back here. All right, so here we go. So you got Jay on the inside, Parham on the outside. And as they come down into the turn, Parham starts turning down. Jay starts turning down. They get a little bit of netcode between them there. And that netcode does get them attached together, which sends both of them up the track. But, of course, Parham getting the brute end of that sends him completely out of the groove at this point. Parham trying everything. Parham trying whatever he can, but just not enough. And wonder if he also ran out of fuel at this point? Yeah, he did. So ran out of fuel, but I don't think he... When did he run out of fuel here is what the question's got to be. Oh, did he run out of fuel down the back here? Take a listen. Watch the RPMs. He did. He did. That was, man, just bad timing. But Parham got almost want to say double tapped in the sense of he ran out of fuel and there was contact at the same exact time. But so now, here we go. Let's ride on board with Jay Stinson. And so You know what? I got to be honest, especially after watching the cockpit view from this one, that does not look to me like Jay tried to push him up. I think what happened here, because you see right just before they're making the contact, that's when Jay's taking his entry into the corner and he turns the wheel. We'll play it real slow for you here. Watch this. Watch the wheel. Turn. There's the contact. So he's just getting ready to turn down into the corner. And Parham, again, starting to turn down. And so I think maybe Jay is trying to hold him up a little bit. But I think ultimately the little bit of netcode that these guys get before they make contact is what really makes this bad. I think if there's no netcode between them, maybe they bump a little bit, but ultimately I think everything's okay. And I mean, nonetheless here, Parham runs out of fuel. So even if they don't make contact there, I'm sorry, but I mean, Parham's not going to be able to make it to the line at full gas. It certainly hurts him, but it still amazes me that some of these guys could have been so much better on fuel. Here we go. Take a ride on board with Jay Stinson to make sure, did he run out of fuel as well? So this is Jay Stinson. Still full throttle at this point. Still full, and yeah, I mean, Jay never runs out of fuel crossing the line, so it was only Justin. I know he'd been leading, but it's just surprising to see the 19 run out of fuel there, and it's a tough break. But honestly, for both of those guys, because that contact, again, it hurts Jay too. Cost him a chance at it. And here's the onboard shot from your winner, Joey Hickox. He probably could not believe what he was seeing. And then right here, just able to shoot the gap, goes through. And he is your winner tonight as we take one more look from a different angle of this one at full speed from Joey Hickox. There you go. There's the contact. Parham after getting up the track. Then he runs out of fuel. Jay Stinson, no more speed. Dyer goes by the inside. He even gets a little bit loose, and at that point, it was all Joey Hickox all the way to the start-finish line. So he is your season champion and tonight's winner. Speaking of, let's go see if we can pull up your top 3 for interviews real quick. Back live at Texas here. Going to start first tonight with your third place finisher, Jay Stinson. Jay, this is Austin. You got a copy.
Hey, what's up, Austin?
Well, you come up about 2 corners short. Now, the first thing I got to ask you is, of course, what everybody's kind of wondering about in the chat. Saw some contact there. Looked to me like it wasn't really intentional, but break it down for us.
No, I don't know. It was good hard racing. I mean, the turn before, he got down low and slid up in front of me. I couldn't come out of it, and I think he knows that. And so I gave him a little wiggle there. I got up under him, and then, I don't know. I've raced with Justin a lot, so I would not think that he did anything intentional. I hate it happen. Like, I'd made the move. I thought I had it, pinned out and won, and it didn't. So I had a choice. I could cut down in front of my teammate and maybe not wreck everybody, or slide up out of the way and not take out and let them race for it. So frustrating, more or less, long season. I thought I made the move, hung in there did everything the right way, and then just come up short. But that's happened. That's the way it is.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he may have had the winning truck there coming to the white flag, but nonetheless, you get to see a teammate go to victory lane. A good season. You got to win. You make it all the way to the championship. Before we let you head out for the final time this season, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, man. I always like to thank you, Austin, for doing this. It's always fun to go back and watch these. This one's probably going to hurt for a little while, so I may not watch this one anytime soon, just because I put so much time into it. But of course, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors between Manny Rays and SPINO Designs, H&H Tractors and Flatwoods, the pit stalls and the SS, Blue Ridge Auto Group, who allow me to put their sponsor on my car, and just my teammates. It was a good time in the Discord. I know me and Joey were fighting for a championship, but if you'd have dropped down at any point in time in our Discord, you wouldn't know it. We still strategize as if this was just a normal race. We're helping each other out. We're making moves for each other. And that's probably the most important thing in this is that we did win a team championship in here. That's the first team championship for Hickox Racing. So I'd just like to thank all the guys that showed up for that. So, of course, Joey, Matt Fritz, Randy, we miss Randy here. Albert Hewins, who hadn't showed up here in a little while. But, me, Matt, and Joey have really held it together and put forth a great effort. Richard came in the booth with us in our Discord, and Ronnie Morrison as well. So just like to thank all those guys that ran with us. Congratulations to Matthew Dyer, Justin Parham, and Joey for a great Championship 4 race. I couldn't ask for a better race. Nancy, I know you're watching. Congratulations. Yeah, your boy got him another one. So that's 2. So he sweeps the series. So congratulations to Joey. This is his track, to be honest with you. So I was happy to just be up there leading and putting in contention. So want to congratulate him one more time on winning another championship.
Well, thank you for talking to us. Congrats again on the 3rd place finish, and hopefully we'll see you out here next season.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Austin.
All right, and now that is going to bring us to your 2nd place finisher here tonight in his final race, Matthew Dyer. Matthew, this is awesome. The booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you go out on a high note, but, man, you come up just short. We saw all the speed through stage 1 and 2. Man, where'd it go in the final one?
Just that bump from Joey and just saving the car. It took too much tire weight to where I just had nothing there at the end. It was, I had the speed. It's just once you just get back behind someone, it's just so hard, and especially when, you have to do a save like that, all your tires just go away.
Well, it was a great season for you. I mean, we saw you make the transition over to Grandstand Racing, and we've seen a couple wins, and again, looking like one of the strong contenders here tonight. We know we don't get you back for next season, but, you think back to your NOMA career, what is your favorite one of all?
Really, it has to be, all my races I won at Kansas. Just the consistency, that I've been able to have too, but also just seeing the growth of this league altogether. Just seeing what, Joey, Jay, and, I think Duvendax and admin too, and just all the admins, what they've been able to do, since taking this over. It's just been huge to watch, and, huge thanks, to Manny Rays, who, continues to put, the sponsorship into this and, to keep us going.
Certainly. Well, hey, before we let you head out here tonight, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
Just a huge shout out to you every week, and putting on this broadcast is always fun to watch. Huge shout out to the admin team for putting this on every week. Just a huge shout out to Nightfall Graphics for this paint scheme. Thin Line Racing, BRN, and everyone that sponsors this league.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us, and hey, congrats on another good run tonight, 2nd place, and we're gonna miss you, but we'll see you later.
Yeah, it just seems weird though, because all 4 seasons I've been a part of this league, I've finished 2nd in the championship 3 times, so forever a bridesmaid.
Well, forever bridesmaid, maybe not. We'll see if we can get you back eventually, or for one of these seasons to get the job done. But again, we appreciate you talking to us, Matthew Dyer. Congrats on 2nd.
All right, thank you.
Man, it's gonna be a hard stat to go home with, but that will lead us to your winner here tonight, Joey Hickox, and your season champion. Joey, this is Austin the Booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, going into 3 and 4, did you really think what was going to happen, or what happened was going to happen?
No, I was kind of thinking that Jason was just going to push him off into the corner and push him up the track, and then me and him go 1-2, which I thought would have been an awesome finish. And then whatever happened down there happened, and I had the run on the inside. And appreciate to Jason for giving me the room on the inside at that point. He could have come down in front of us, and we'd all been in a world of mess, but props to him on that one. And I don't know, I didn't know where the 19 was coming off the corner, so I wasn't quite sure I had it until I think it was Matt Fritz, or maybe it was Richard, said, "You got it, man." And I don't know. That last 100 feet couldn't come fast enough because I was running out of fuel.
Well, we saw that be the case for a couple guys, but overall this season, Hickox Racing, they bring home a championship, 2 championships, of course. You got the team championship and then now the driver championship, and we saw you with multiple wins on the season. You get it done in the Super Speedway Series. How do you put together a storybook season like this, and is there any way to repeat one this good?
Man, I don't know. We're definitely going to go for it next year for sure, but I don't know. Oh, me and Jason's always taught once we get our first win in this league, they're just going to start coming in folds, and boy, they did for us this year. So, man, I can't believe we actually won Monday night, and then as bad as I ran all week when we were practicing this track, I can't believe that it actually stuck. And big shout out to Richard. He practiced with me this afternoon when I got home, and I changed it up for the race, and it actually worked. It was actually fast again. So thanks to him and Jason and Matt for all the help they gave me tonight and setting the truck up and driving lines and stuff like that, man. Without them, I'd have been back there in 13th, 14th tonight.
Well, to wrap up the great run and the season here tonight, is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out?
Oh, yeah, man, especially you for broadcasting this whole season, man. It's been a great season. I love going back and watching them, even the ones that I run really poorly in. They're still fun to go back and watch. You keep the races interesting. I appreciate you've been doing it for us for quite a while now, man, and it's always a blast going back and watch it. I got to thank my mom and my dad for watching. For both of them telling me today, don't hang your head and just go out here and give it all you got. So I did it, and I'm appreciative of them for watching every single week and every race that I'm in, and never letting me hang my head when I get a little down on myself. But and I got to thank the sponsors, man. Manny Rays, Cemetery Designs, Raymond. Dude, we couldn't put this thing on without him. So I greatly appreciate everything he does for the league and for us personally. It's great to have a partner like that. And then you got the Flatwoods Hunting Club, SPINO Designs, Blue Ridge Auto Group, H&H Tractor Works, Flatwoods Hunting Club. Appreciate them for being on the car and the truck pretty much the whole season with H&H. And looking forward to next season, man. We got an announcement we're going to be making here in the next few days, so looking like our team's going to be getting a little bit stronger. So, man, I got to thank my wife for giving me the time to practice and come out here and have fun with the guys, and my son for coming out here and practicing with me and giving me a little bit of shots every now and then. It's always fun racing with my son. So, yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. I think it's going to be another late night tonight.
All right, and it should be, hey, season champion, Texas winner, and, of course, you got the sweep. Congrats on all of it, and we will see you next season.
All right, thanks, man.
And that is Joey Hickox, your race winner tonight and season champion. I want to thank everybody so much for coming out, and I know they say it, but again, I would completely agree. Huge thanks to Manny Rays, of course, the partner sponsorship for the NOMA Truck Series, all that they do for multiple of the series. We appreciate when you tune out as well. So, with that, we are going to wrap it up. Appreciate everybody that tuned out here tonight. The Manny Rays Mafia, of course, watching as well. Nancy, all the people that are out here every week. And until next season, have a good night.